Hi, I'm Trish Lee and you are watching Thrive with Trish, the place to be to build your confidence and make your dreams happen. Do you tend to compare yourself to others and end up feeling small? Ever wondered how you could stop feeling so bad and down about yourself and stop this bad comparison trap? If yes, then today's show is for you. Let's check out the question for today. Hello Trish, since I was young, I've always had a bad habit of comparing myself to others in terms of my looks, possessions, career, everything. It screws with my mind when I do it, and it makes me feel so useless. But I can't stop the way I think and feel. What's your advice for me? Thank you Trish. Love, Rhea. Rhea, you know the saying, comparison is the thief of joy? Well, it really is. I used to be a really unhappy person. I had low self-esteem and I compared myself to others day in, day out. I was really living a very miserable life. And up until I learned how to love myself more and accept myself for all that I am, only then did happiness and hope start to fill my life. But apart from that, here's another side of my life that I really want to share with you. Do I still compare myself to others sometimes? Yes. Okay, it happens to all of us, even myself sometimes. But do I sink into a dark hole of self-hate whenever this feeling of comparison starts coming up again? No. I'm a much different person than I used to be in the past. Here are some of my top tips on how to regain balance and happiness whenever you feel yourself sinking into comparing yourself to others. Tip number 1. Emulate for growth, not to condescend. It's really easy to compare yourself to others who you think are better than you and you think, I fail in comparison to this, to the looks, successes, wealth, everything. But how about we play it all the way? If you really want to compare yourself to others, compare both sides. Not just those people who you think are above you. How about you compare with those people who are less fortunate than you? So what are they? Are they stupid, poor, idiots? No. Is it fair to judge them? No. Because we are all brought up with different experiences, different beliefs, different values, and we've made different life choices along the way that has brought each of us to a certain point in our lives. So unless you can truly understand the mindset of a person and what influenced them to get to where they are today, you can't really fully compare yourself to another person or judge them. Let's say, for example, social media. Many people say that social media is bad, stay away from it. But honestly, my point of view, I don't think social media is bad. It's more how you use it. If you use social media to inspire others, to motivate yourself, to get ideas, to learn more about the world, and to become a better version of yourself, then by all means, emulate and grow. But don't use social media to condescend yourself and put yourself down. The main key here is you need to identify your triggers. Whether or not it's social media, whether or not it's a place, it's a thing, it's a person, it could be anything. Identify what that trigger is and give yourself some space away from this thing, this trigger, and give yourself time to build up your mind willpower before attempting to look at it again or go to a certain place. But if you find that it's still too overwhelming, then really just stay away from it. Tip number 2. Are you absolutely sure things are what they seem? Now, let's play pretend. Let's say you see a guy which looks rich and he's wearing branded stuff. He has a really good career. He's the boss of a big company. Okay, and he drives a sports car, a BMW, and he has a very pretty girlfriend on his side. So basically the perfect guy, a perfect life. So most guys probably would think, oh, I'm jealous of this guy. Dude, he has it all. But what if I told you that in reality, this man is drenched in bank credits? And what if I told you that he has a gambling problem? And what if I told you that he actually borrows money from his girlfriend? And would you believe if I told you that that girlfriend was actually me? As Barney Stinson would say,
true story.
On a different story, last year in 2018, there was a story online that came up. It was really interesting. It was about an Instagrammer that racked up more than $10,000 in debt just to become Instagram famous. Moral of the story, never, ever, ever judge a book by its cover, okay? You cannot come to a conclusion just by seeing photos or seeing glances of a person's life. It's not possible. Always know the real full story before you come to a conclusion. Plus, I just want to add on that it's really not fair to yourself that you compare yourself, maybe you're in chapter 1, okay, of beginning something new, and you compare yourself to somebody else who's in their chapter 30 of their life. Like I said, if you want to compare yourself, compare the full story, the good and the bad sides. You have to see from the start to the end. You can't just take the end and forget the beginning. You also got to read up and understand about their struggles, their challenges, and how much of planning and dedication and hard work that they've put into whatever they are doing to become as successful as they are now. So, what were you jealous about again? Tip number 3. Stand firm by your moral values and come out as a winner. I want to share a story with you about my past when I was working as a manager in a big fitness company. Many of my staff, the moment that they got their salary at the end of the month, you know what they do? They would go and buy expensive Japanese food, Starbucks coffee, almost every single day. Just, indulge, spend, be happy, go shopping, this, that. It's not wrong. They have their right to do it. It's their money. But every time when it came to the middle of the month, by that time, their money usually would have drained out and they wouldn't have enough money for extravagant spendings, Then what happens is they will start to stinge on themselves and sometimes even skip meals. And the scary part was that there was one point where one of the staff was actually so tight on money that she nearly wanted to steal the company money to buy milk powder for her babies. Which, thankfully, I ended up stopping her and I told her, please don't do such a silly thing and jeopardize your career. I ended up buying that milk powder for her. Month by month, I saw this vicious cycle happen, and you just needed one staff to start this trend of spending, and feeling like they're rich. And another staff will follow, and the other, and they all will do it all together. Many of them usually would ask me, why don't you come and enjoy and spend a bit and this and that. But that's just not how I roll. That's not how I live my life. That's not the values that my parents taught me about money. It's not that I don't spend money, I do, but the bulk of my money, I either save it and maybe a small part of it I invest it. And the other part of it, I sometimes would spend and splurge a little as an act of self-love for myself or usually on my family and friends. Point is that you don't always have to follow and do what other people are doing or what you think that makes them happy and what they think is cool and you want to do it just to blend in and to be accepted. You don't have to do that. If you see what other people are doing and you are not comfortable with it and it is not in alignment with your moral values, then simply smile and walk away. Because as I shared in one of my previous videos about how to overcome social anxiety, it is a futile mission to please everyone. It is impossible. You are only going to shoot yourself in the foot. So in the end, the question is, are you going to please others or are you going to please yourself? One very big lesson that I have learned in my life and that has helped me keep sane and steadfast by my moral values all these years is that just because the majority of people are doing or buying something doesn't make it good or right. Tip number 4, take time to be thankful. When you use your brain to focus on what you have, it has lesser space and energy to focus on what you lack. This is the beauty and the power of our left prefrontal cortex. Research has shown that if you can activate and train this part of your brain to focus more on blessings in your life, the more you will welcome well-being into your life. A heart filled with gratitude has no room for comparison, which is the thief of joy. The more you focus on blessings and being grateful, the more you welcome magic into your life. And same goes for the flip side. If you focus only on what you lack, then nothing will ever be enough. So how can you learn to live a life filled with gratitude? It doesn't mean that you need to take hours and hours to meditate. No, you just need to take maybe 5 minutes, in the morning or in the evening or both, and think about 3 things, just 3 things that you are grateful for. For me personally, I do it in the evening just before I sleep, every night without fail. I pray before I sleep and I thank God for the people and the things that He has blessed me with. A grateful life is simply a life which is spent living in the moment, being thankful and taking no one and nothing for granted. To all my dear friends who's watching, I really hope this helps. And I really hope you've come to see that there is no point in comparing yourself to others and to condescend yourself. Focus on your own path and where you would like to be years from now. Invest your time and energy into making the best out of this beautiful life that you have been blessed with. The moment you can do this, I guarantee you, more blessings and more magic will start to unfold right before your eyes. Let's conclude today with a quote of the day. Every time you get caught up envying the journey of others, you lose sight of your own successes. Now I'd like to hear from you. Have you ever been sucked into the comparison trap, end up feeling really shitty, but was able to pull yourself back out and regain balance? If yes, how? Do let me know in the comments below or over at my blog, trishandco.com. And while you're over at my blog, do sign up for my Trish exclusive newsletter to receive a free ebook on how to build unshakable confidence, as well as monthly powerful insights from myself that I don't share anywhere else. Plus, if you have any questions that you would like me to guide you on, do write to me over at my page, Ask Trish Anything, and I'll be more than happy to come back to you with empowering steps. So, ladies and gentlemen, did you like this episode? If yes, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my Uplift You channel. And also, I'll be very, very, very thankful if you would share this video with your friends or family, anyone basically, that you know could use some useful tips and advice from this episode. As always, live strong and have the courage to create a life you love because your happiness matters. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time on Thrive with Trish. Have you ever seen someone that you thought had the money, relationship, everything that you thought was great and dandy, but actually in reality it wasn't so? Do write to me, let me know in the comments below.